he's in the locker room posing with down lighting. That looks very good. The first fucking thing, no offense, but you look better in these shots than you did on stage. Looking forward to seeing this on the Olympia stage. It's like, dude, are you that fucking dumb? What's up, guys? Derek, moreplaysmoredates.com. Today we're going to be talking quickly about fucking idiots, pretty much. I don't know. I don't watch bodybuilding a lot anymore. I am a fan of the sport and I tune in every once in a while, but something I see all the time, especially as a somebody who posts on YouTube often, is delusional people in the comment section. Like, it's not something that I am a stranger to, and you'll literally see guys who all sit here in a t-shirt one day and they'll be like,
what happened, dude? You lost cycle? You lose fucking 30 pounds of muscle?
And then I'll show up the next day with a cutoff on and my delt showing, and everyone's like, oh, it looks like you hop back on cycle. There's less than fucking 24 hours between. And that's just a small example of a more larger issue at play, and that is the perception of bodybuilding competitions. So recently the New York Pro happened and Ian Vier won, and there was a lot of controversy at the show because everyone basically said everyone's out of shape at the show. This is footage I got from Nick Strength and Power, by the way, so shout out to him for I'm kind of just like pulling the footage off his page if you're wondering where I got it from. So if you want to check out his commentary, go check that out. But basically I'm just using this to show what I'm trying to exemplify in this video. Like, when people see this footage, they see these guys, and the first thing that so many people jump to is they'll say, these guys are all out of shape. These guys are all soft and fucking bloated and no separation and blah, blah, blah. Like, these guys, and these are people watching at home from their computers. They see this, they see Ian, who's fucking diced, and they'll be like, this guy's out of shape. Look how washed out his abs are. Look how soft he is from the back. Look how soft his glutes are, blah, blah, blah. But then, like, something that I feel like goes overlooked so much and is such an obvious thing, and I don't know why this isn't incorporated into common shows, and frankly, maybe I'm just overlooking something really obvious here, but when you look at the lighting of these shows, to me, like, again, this goes back to, everyone seems to say, they revert back to, everyone in the 90s was like, 90s was the best era for bodybuilding, and nowadays it's ruined and no one comes in shape and everyone's fat and soft and blah, blah, blah. And like, yeah, I guess because there's a larger pool of competitors that perhaps more people are showing up out of shape, and it was there were deeper lineups in the 90s, I guess. But I mean, one thing that goes super overlooked, I feel like, is the fact that the lighting in current shows looks like shit compared to a lot of the shows in the 90s. So this is the lighting at the New York Pro. These are the back shots. This is the side shots. This is the front shot. And like, this is very unflattering lighting. Like, these guys are in great shape, and this is just like, there's no down lighting. Like, it's just like the most washed out fucking shit lighting you can use that I could imagine. Like, here's the front most muscular, and these guys obviously look nuts, but it's so much less impressive than what you see in the 90s, like at the, like, again, from the back shot, this back lat spread, Ian's fucking peeled, but then people see the back lat spread, they're like, oh, this guy's soft, or like the dumbest shit you see. Like, you'll actually see guys commenting on his most recent post. They'll be like, he's in the locker room posing with down lighting. That looks very good. The first fucking thing, no offense, but you look better in these shots than you did on stage. Looking forward to seeing this on the Olympia stage. It's like, dude, are you that fucking dumb to realize he's standing in a locker room and has better lighting here? Like, this is right before the show, pretty much. He looks exactly the fucking same, dude. It's just the shit lighting of these shows. Like, go look at this shot from the back and tell me if this lighting is the same as this locker room. Now, the problem with this, I feel like, really boils down to, and sort of reflects on why the guys in the 90s had such better conditioning. Maybe some of them did, and they probably did. But I mean, I think a lot of it boils down to better lighting. Like, 50% of your fucking physique is basically the lighting you choose. Obviously not really, but a lot of you guys know what I mean. If you have good down lighting and a good pump, it's like the difference between you looking like you fucking lift and not lifting. And if you go look at some of the most iconic shows from the 90s, like the 99 British Grand Prix is one I commonly look to as like an example of, you know, the pinnacle of bodybuilding. But one of the reasons it's seen as the pinnacle of bodybuilding is because the lighting was fucking on point. Like when you look at this show, even if the guys were out of shape, this is like old footage in 240p, and the guys look like better shape in 240p than the guys do at the New York Pro in fucking HD sharp high quality high quality camera settings. But the reason is because they have the fucking nuttiest lighting at this show ever. We literally have a potato camera, but these guys look like they're all like peeled to the bone because, well, they are, but I mean, on top of that, they actually have downlighting that accentuates what they're trying to show. Whereas these fucking modern day shows have the most washed out, ugly looking lighting I've ever seen and make it look terrible. I don't know if that's the case in person, because frankly, I don't go to the shows. Like maybe when you're a judge right in front of it, it's a bit different. But I would still think if I'm in a locker room or at this fucking 99 Grand Prix and I'm looking at Kevin Levrone in front of me doing his like his most muscular versus I see Ian Vier doing his most muscular in like the most washed out lighting possible, you know, you can see where there'd be a drastic difference to the point where it would be like, wow, this guy's in shape versus this guy's washed out and fucking flat and shitty looking. Not shitty, but I mean, you know what I mean? As a, you know, a bodybuilding, somebody who's judging the fucking physiques, it's not as favorable when you have this garbage lighting. Like if you look at some of the posing routines from the 99 show, like here's Kevin Levrone. This is one of the most iconic posing routines ever. Look at this lighting. Like this is immaculate fucking circumstances. This guy looks like, arguably this is one of like the best, well, I don't think you can argue, this is one of the best physiques of all time, but part of what made it one of the best physiques of all time is the fucking lighting at this show, dude. Like, look at this guy. These shots are fucking unreal. There's this one shot in particular that's super iconic. I'm gonna try and find it. Like here he is from the back. Everything's just stupidly dialed in. Where's that shot? He does this one where he just like shakes his fucking arms around and like gets the crowd super hype. And I forget where it is. I'm gonna try and find it here, but like you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Like look how heavy this downlighting is, guys. Like you can see the shadows all over his physique, and it's just showing all of the deep cuts, all the separation, all the striations. Everything is showing perfectly. And then you go to this New York Pro and everyone is like super washed out looking, and it's a lot harder to appreciate the details when there's no fucking downlighting whatsoever. And I feel like this is something that idiot bodybuilding fans that don't actually know the difference somehow, like you would think every single person would understand downlighting, how much of a difference it makes, but then you go on these, you know, Instagram pages and the first fucking comment on Ian's post when he's posing in downlighting is, "You look better here." It's like, are you fucking that dumb, dude? Like, I just don't understand how people don't see this shit. People will be like, "Oh, you just gotta bring this look next time and then you'll win." And it's like, yeah, can I bring the fucking lamp with me? Because it's not fucking working like that, dude. Like they show these shit lighting circumstances and expect these guys to bring their best, but they're not giving them the opportunity to show their best, you know? And they have the 99 shows where everyone, you know, had the best fucking physiques ever, when in reality they had like the nastiest, filthiest downlighting of all time. You could show up like, not out of shape, but I mean, you could show up like off the mark and probably look better than guys on the mark with current lighting. Like that's how substantial it is in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I mean, you have a lot more leeway with downlighting, dude. Like go take a shot in your gym with downlighting after a pump and then go outside in the sun and get a washed out photo in the middle of your fucking backyard and then tell me which one looks better. We all know which one looks better. And this is an example of what I mean. Like when you look behind the scenes of the Grand Prix, this is what the guys look like. They're all diced, they're all in shape, they've got their death faces in, everyone looks good, but like look at the backs here. You see the glutes, you see the details in the back. You can see exactly what these guys look like up close when they're not under the most, you know, when they're under like normal lighting circumstances and they're just pumping up and they're right in front of you. You can see how detailed they are when they're not on stage in the, you know, best stage in the world ideally. Like I consider the Grand Prix probably like the best lighting I've ever seen of any bodybuilding show personally. And then you go look at like Ian's page, for example, and you look at some of his shots And like, this is his fucking glute. It literally looks like a striated fucking peanut implant. Like, that's how diced this guy is, where his ass doesn't even resemble a fucking ass anymore. It is a Mr. Peanut. Like, that's what it fucking looks like. This guy is as in shape, in my opinion, as these guys backstage. He just doesn't have the opportunity to show it because of the fucking garbage lighting. And, you know, maybe I'm off the mark on that, but just from what I can tell, this seems like a plain as day problem that should be addressed by now. Like, I would think if you want the athletes to show their best package and be perceived in the best way possible, you would not have garbage shit lighting that is super unflattering. Like, it's, some of the contest lighting seems worse than, like, it seems like they go out of their way to make people look as bad as possible. That's how the lighting is set up at some of these shows, it seems like. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but every time I see contest photos nowadays, they're usually like not favorable in terms of the lighting circumstances. So that's kind of what I get out of this. You know, maybe some of these guys could have showed up in better shape. I'm not, you know, somebody to critique anything to do with bodybuilding in terms of, you know, peaking for shows and whatnot, in terms of assessing if these guys were in shape or not. But just objectively looking at it, some of these guys that are getting critiqued too heavily, in my opinion, relative to the fact that the guys in the 90s that were, you know, willing to suffer and blah, 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 I feel like they're just as shredded, dude. They just don't have the fucking same opportunity to show their physiques as some of these guys in the 90s did. And it's unfortunate because it's the amount of effort you go into suffering for these shows, and then it's like you get perceived in the worst way fucking possible, to the point where idiots can't even tell the difference between the fact that 2 hours before you took a photo in the gym, or 2 days before or whatever, and then you go to your show and you're peaked for your show, even better shape potentially than you were in the gym, you know, a week ago when you took your progress photo, and people can't even see the fact that you are basically getting fucking washed out and destroyed by the lighting, and look to your fucking gym photo and say, oh dude, you missed the mark, you fucked up your peak because you don't look like you did in the gym the other day. And it's like, no dude, these shows are just fucking garbagely lit, in my opinion. So that is my long-winded take on the current state of bodybuilding. Like, it seems like a no-brainer. Like, fix the fucking lighting. That is what I would say, because you're gonna keep getting this kind of commentary coming out of the woodwork from people, and you're gonna get people not appreciating the physiques the way they could. Like, you're not gonna have iconic footage like fucking Levroni at the 99 Grand Prix unless you fix the lighting, in my opinion. So that is where I stand on it. You know, take from that what you will. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What do you think of the current lighting? Like, just compare it to the 90s lighting to now. Do you think it's just a case of the guys now are just all fat and like not willing to diet? Or do you think it's that perhaps there's more to it and maybe the show should be set up a bit better? Because I feel like a lot of these guys are fucking suffering and showing up in shape, and they're just not having their physiques represented very well. You'll see them in their hotel rooms, they look absurd, and then they go show up on stage and you're like, all the idiots are like, what happened between the fucking hotel shot and the stage? And it's like, fucking nothing. I took the elevator downstairs and then I went in this shitty stage with horrible lighting. So anyways, let me know what you guys think. This is something that I guess just grinds my gears as a fan of bodybuilding to see this happen. Not only the contest people that set it up basically fucking over the competitors by having this garbage lighting and ruining, you know, like potential, having like iconic pictures and videography for the future for marketing themselves or for just like historical purposes. It's like so fucking shitty to have them in these lighting circumstances. And then on top of that, all the fans that have to, you know, I don't know, the fans that just are too dumb to realize what's going on and then aren't judging based on the fact that of these circumstances. I don't know. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, check out my blog, moreplatesmoredates.com. Follow me on Instagram at moreplates_moredates, Facebook, Snapchat, BitChute, Twitter, TikTok, Apple Podcasts. If you want to get my articles with deep dives into bodybuilding pharmacology, you will not get sent those unless you sign up to the newsletter below, the first link in the description below. The articles are far more in-depth and elaborate than my videos, and they have all the hyperlinks to all the clinical studies I reference in the content for you to go check further for your own personal research if it interests you. Highly recommend you subscribe to that if you are interested in anything with regards to performance enhancement, risk management, staying healthy while going about it. Thought stuff like that. And if you want to support the channel, you can check out anything I am associated with in the video description below. My TRT clinic, if you are seeking hormone optimization or testosterone replacement therapy or pharma grade hair loss medication or anything of the, pretty much anything of the nature of the content I put out that's relevant, I compel you to check it out and just, you have your blood work assessed by our doctors and patient care coordinators in-house. Check if you have any imbalances or deficiencies, and from there, if warranted, they will design a individual specific protocol for you. And it's all telemedicine from the comfort of your own home. Skype, FaceTime, Zoom, whatever is your preference, all comfort of your own home. Like I said, telemedicine is a way of the future in my opinion, especially with the state of everything going on. And all the meds are shipped right to your door. You don't even need to leave the fucking house. So it's pretty convenient. And you can save $50 off your first order with the coupon code MPMD50. If you want to support Gorilla Mind, Gorilla Mode, Gorilla Mind is my turnkey nootropic formulas for focus, performance, productivity, basically just anything cognitive related, creativity, staying locked in for more hours each working day. This is what I developed throughout my university years to cram for exams and study for, prepare for business presentations, do pretty much anything. And now into my working years, it's what I used to stay locked in for more hours per day. And then the Gorilla Mode pre-workout formula is obviously self-explanatory what pre-workouts are, but I encourage you to go pull out your current pre, literally pull it out of the cupboard, get it from wherever it is, under your desk, in your room, wherever the fuck you keep it, pull it out, look at the label, compare it to the label on Gorilla Mode Classic, the hybrid comprehensive formula with the max NO precursor dosages, as well as the hyperhydrating agents and plasma expanders and the potent cognitive enhancing complex of stimulants and nootropics. This is the most maxed out hybrid product on the market with actual topped out clinical efficacious dosages, not just the minimum efficacious dose in a fucking science paper, but the maxed out dosages that actually yield topped out benefits. And there is no formula on the market that comes close in my opinion. Then there's Gorilla Mode Nitric, the stimulant-free formula. If you are don't want to take stimulants, or you train at nighttime, or you just want the even more maxed out in the performance category product, this one has no stimulants, no nootropics. However, it has a even higher dose of L-citrulline, literally the topped out 10-gram dose where no additional grams would provide any additional benefit whatsoever. High dose of glycer pump, high dose of agmatine sulfate, high dose of nitrosamine, vasodrive AP, basically every vector that could address intracellular hyperhydration and performance in general from NO precursors and hydrating agents is assessed in this product for maxed out pump, performance, endurance, etc. And then the Gorilla Mode Stim product. This is the newest release, and it is a cost-effective alternative to Gorilla Mode Classic, and basically it is for the stim junkies or those who just want a cost-effective pre-workout without all of the performance elements. So this is just pure stimulants and nootropics. It is double the dose of L-tyrosine, double the dose of Kana, increased dose of N-phenylethyl dimethylamine citrate, increased caffeine anhydrous, and we still have got the huperazine in there and whatnot. And this is basically just a cost-effective alternative, like I said, for those who either want a heavier hit of stims or for those who just want a pure mental performance product with none of the other stuff. So if that interests you, check it out. Anything else I'm associated with, video description below. Thank you guys for watching. Talk to you soon.